Welcome to the Sooners 360 Daily Recruiting Update from the podcast all about OU football recruiting. This episode is sponsored by Sooners 360 on Patreon. To support Sooners 360, please go to patreon.com. Use the search feature, type in Sooners 360, follow the search results, click subscribe. It's only $2 a month. There's also a free trial option. Also, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscriber growth and subscriber numbers greatly help my channel with the YouTube algorithm stuff. And if you're listening to the audio version, please consider subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. That way you will not miss any content and it will always be pushed out to you. As you can hear, I'm struggling a little bit with the cold. It's not your audio platform or anybody's audio platform. It's just the cold that rendered me down all weekend. That's why you had no new content. I apologize about that. Just didn't have the voice, didn't have the energy to go on camera and record anything. I was able to do sooner. I was able to do recruit intel last night with a kind of a low energy performance. Chris was able to help drag me through that. So trying to get back on get back to some regular content for you guys. So you'll have to apologize my froggy voice, and I'm hoping the content will make up for it. So this is August 25th. One new name, one familiar place. So OU made a new 2028 offer, made a couple of new 28 offers and a couple of 29 offers. We'll get to those over the next week or so. And then they ended up in the top 6 of a player that I've not reviewed, but I've been kind of tracking. And then they ended up in his top 6. We'll see if that goes any further. But he's definitely in play as of now. So it's certainly time to watch his film. So the new name is at interior offensive line, and he has some very interesting film. The familiar place is we're going back to Arizona. We're looking at another elite defender. So we'll start with the familiar place, and we'll go back out to Arizona. And we are going back to Goodyear, Arizona, Desert Edge. Now, if that's not overly familiar to you, that's fine. But let me refresh your memory. That would be the high school where Michael Davis, 2027 cornerback verbal commitment for OU plays. That is where Jelani George, 2028 defensive end, 5-star all everything that OU is heavily pushing for. That's where he plays. A cornerback target they're looking at called Nakai Lambeth that I've showed you guys a couple of weeks ago. He's also at Desert Edge. So basically, Desert Edge is a loaded defense. And this fall is going to have a loaded secondary with at least 3 pieces being highly recruited guys. An OU verbal for 27 and 2 28 guys that are 4 stars. So this is Jaelyn Easterling Flores. He is 6'2", 175 pounds. He's listed at like 180, 185, depending upon where you're looking. And he's from Arizona, Goodyear, Arizona, which is basically Phoenix area. And he plays at Desert Edge High School. So let's change that. This is his ranking. On Rivals, he is ranked number 89 in the nation. He is the number 7 safety and the number 4 player in Arizona, which puts him probably behind Jelani George and Landon Wade. And probably the cornerback I showed you guys who doesn't play at edge. I believe his name is Keaton Fields, who's like a 5-star cornerback. Then ESPN has him as the number 54 player in the nation, the number 3 safety, and the number 4 player in Arizona. And then 247 has him as the number 75 player in the nation, number 5 safety, and again, the number 4 player in Arizona. So knowing the 3 guys ahead of him are essentially elite 5 stars, that makes his ranking seem really pretty good. So, like, nothing to really complain about right now. So, let's take a look at his film. All right, he's blitzing off the edge, and he just blows his quarterback up and forces the fumble. He plays safety. He's a safety for them. This is a play. The quarterback scrambling to his right, throws a pass that he should not throw. Easterling Flores tracks it down and returns it for about 45, more like 60 yards. This is a goal line play. He comes flying off the quarterback's blind side, smashes him, causes a fumble, and forces them to lose. They don't get the fumble, but he sends them back about 30 yards. So this is a coverage play. First couple of plays have been him blitzing, and he obviously is very good at that. And then obviously him picking off a pass. So they're throwing over here. He does a great job. They're throwing to the right side. It's a short pass, but Flores in open field makes a nice tackle and limits the play to just a couple of yards. Okay, he's on the line again. He's blitzing, and he's going to basically go sideline to sideline, smack the running back from behind, and drop him for a loss. He's in deeper coverage here. He does play a deeper safety spot. This is a nice pass. So the ball's on like the 22-yard line, and the wide receiver is basically running a sideline route right into the end zone, and Flores comes over from his deep safety spot and picks the ball off. They're running the ball. He comes up from a narrow line of scrimmage safety spot, 5-yard tackle for loss on the running back. He's a physical safety. Again, he's running into the backfield, tackles the running back for a loss. He's really effective off the edge. So one might think there could be some cheetah in his game, but he's also really good in deep coverage. He's going to pick this pass off again. It's a bad throw. His other defenders are really getting after it. This is a good play. He's on the follows the slot all over the field. Slot cuts to the other hash, and he makes a nice pass deflection. Another run support play here. He is physical, not afraid to get involved in run support. Does a nice job, does a really good job, but there's a lot of eye candy in terms of motion, and he follows the wide receiver and just tracks him all over the field for an incomplete pass. Upends running back. Again, he's doing a good job as the last line of defense, making sure running plays are only 8 or 10 yards. They don't turn into 30, 40-yard plays. Really good coverage there. He looks back. He uses the sideline as his friend. Doing a good job. He's flying up here and blows up a running back. Does a nice job, tight coverage on the slot. Wide receivers claiming interference, but it was just really nice, tight coverage. Yeah, it's just blanketing receivers in coverage. He's physical. He does an excellent job open field, tackling, good speed, good coverage skills, and he's got a little bit of he's a hitter, but he's also doing an excellent job tackling in space. He's not shoulder tackling. He's wrapping guys up. Another deep safety spot here. It's a short wide receiver screen. The guy breaks away from the first defender, and he's like the last line of defense and makes a nice open field tackle, also avoiding the other wide receiver blocker. Another deep safety play. He's just doing a good job blanketing guys. He does a great job here running up. So it's so that play, we'll just look at it again because he's in the middle of the field safety right here. The running play's well blocked. It's well called. Sorry about that. And this running back's going. If he misses this guy could be gone for a 50, for a 55-yard touchdown. But he runs up, tackles him. It's only an 8-yard play, but it could have been much worse. Again, sticky coverage. He's going to blitz again on this play. Gets to the running back in the backfield, tackle for loss. Another running back making through. Easterling, shoves in, smacks the guy, stops the play from going too far. Does a nice job. He deflected the pass there. Nice open field tackle. So that's Jaelyn Easterling Flores. I'm going to stop the video right there. He looks fantastic. He looks like he could easily line up with Michael Davis in the future Sooner secondary. OU's in his top 6. I hope he visits this fall along with Jelani George. Maybe Michael can bring them both in. Can bring both of those guys in, and that can help OU in their recruiting. But he's a fantastic looking prospect, and I'm hoping I'm showing you this video again this fall. Maybe showing you junior film, because his interest level in OU has only increased. Okay, so that's the familiar name. That's the familiar place, and another elite-looking defender. Again, I'm not sure I can. Maybe I'm gushing a little bit, but that's just really good film. Now, the next one is an interior offensive lineman. He's from Kentucky. Resize that. His name is Ryan Walls. He's 2028. He's listed at 6'3 and a half, 330. He's from Murray, Kentucky. I'm not exactly sure where Murray, Kentucky is, but I'm sorry. Let me get the other banner off there. Sorry about that. He's an interior offensive lineman, and OU just offered him. So I don't know that much about him. I don't know that much about his interest level in Oklahoma, but OU's involved with a lot of good offensive linemen. So if they felt the need to offer Ryan Walls, they obviously saw something on film that they really liked. So let's look at his rankings. He is ranked by Rivals number 69 in the nation, the number 5 interior offensive lineman, and the number 2 player in the state of Kentucky. I'm guessing Seneca Driver is, sorry, not Seneca Driver. Kellen Hall is the only player ahead of him. On ESPN, he's the number 82 player in the nation, number 4 interior offensive lineman, and the number 2 player in Kentucky. And then 247 has him as the number 159 player in the nation, the number 10 interior offensive lineman, and the number 3 player from the state of Kentucky. Probably they have as a cornerback OU's offered, but I don't think they're making much progress on. They probably have him ranked ahead of right after Kellen Hall. So good size, good rankings. There's a couple of fun things in his video. There's a couple of clips in his video that are really fun that you guys will enjoy. He's going to be playing offensive guard and defensive tackle in these highlights. So you're going to basically hear a kind of a combination of, see a combination of those plays. So let me go to the video. All right, he's playing left tackle for these guys, and he just throws this guy to the ground, just shoves him, and then falls on him. On this play, it's a run up the middle. He's just bulldozering, pancaking some poor guy. This is a screen pass, and he's downfield hitting folks. Again, he's at left tackle. He's just threw this guy and bodied him to the ground to create an opening. Again, he's at left tackle here. He's just smashing some guy, knocking him to the ground. He's agile and he's powerful for a big guy, but I can imagine the move to guard will make him even more effective. There's a nice wide receiver screen. And he just bodies this guy. that was an incomplete pass, but he just flattened this kid. Flattened that kid. Now this is a defensive tackle. He just shoves his way to the quarterback and gets a sack and forces a fumble. He doesn't even know he forced the fumble. But he's a big guy. This is a defensive tackle, almost defensive end, 3-4 look. He pushes. He separates from the tackle and makes a sack of the quarterback. Just blew that play. Moving inside. He's back at tackle here. Does a nice job. Just putting his hands on a guy and putting him in the ground. Back at defensive tackle, they double team him. He has a nice spin move and deflects the pass down. Back at left tackle, small guy tries to run around him and he just sort of buries him. Not many pass pro highlights here just because they're running the ball. Does a nice job, moves around, finds somebody to hit and hits them. He's at defensive tackle here, makes a nice move to tackle the running back before he gets in the end zone. Another D tackle play here. He kind of keeps sets the edge and allows for a tackle for loss. Back at left tackle, pushes a really big guy to the ground. Kind of gets in the way of the running back with how much he moved him out and shoved him around. So I got to rewind these highlights. Sorry guys, I'm a little sick here, so this play is appreciating. All right, guys, it is a goal line player. They're on the 5-yard line. He is that fullback, and they're about to give him the ball. Yep. He does a nice job running into the end zone and getting a touchdown. And they're about to give him the ball again. Another fullback highlight. He runs outside, shows nice speed, and he ran outside at 3:30. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Just two fun highlights there. Another play, defensive tackle. For a big guy, he's agile. I don't think he's recruiting him at defensive tackle. Everybody's recruiting him as an offensive guard, and I think he could be a really good guard when you get down to it. So. Another play, another defensive play where he's just smashing the play in the backfield. So that's Ryan Williams. Really like that film. I'd like to see OU continuing their current surge in Kentucky with Seneca Driver and Kellen Hall. I think if they could get this guy to visit with those guys, that would make a lot of sense. He would be a good fit at offensive guard for the Sooners. He needs to lose some bad weight, but nothing terrible. And I think his agility and quick feet, you can see the quick feet when he's playing running back. He's not lumbering. He's not slow. You can see those. You can see that in the running back, the fullback highlights. But he's just a really interesting prospect. I'm sorry if my voice is fading a little bit at the end of this broadcast. Hopefully in the next day or two, it'll be back to normal. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Chris and I will be back with Sooner Intel on Thursday. I should have content for the rest of the week for you guys. All going well. Thanks for your patronage as always. Always appreciate you guys on any free platform listening to my shows, giving me feedback. And sorry we were out of pocket for a couple of days, but like I said, we should be back up and running as usual. So I'll be back tomorrow with another episode for you guys.